Hi guys, and welcome to another episode of Kabir Considers. In this video, I'm going to react to why these NFL stadiums will never host a Super Bowl. Now, I imagine for a stadium to host a Super Bowl, it must be a big thing. It's like almost like a pat on the back in a way. Like your stadium has been deemed to be good enough, big enough, recognizable enough to host the biggest game in the American football season, in the NFL season. So to know that you'll never host a Super Bowl must actually kind of suck, to be honest. And I wonder why. What criteria deems a stadium, unworthy of such a prestigious game? So this video is going to be fun for me to react to for sure. So let's do it.
When the Tampa Bay Considers won Super Bowl LV, they became the first team
The Tampa Bay Considers
ever to win the big game in their home stadium. So many factors had to come together for that to happen. But as the NFL now awards Super Bowl hosting duties to existing NFL cities, it was bound to happen eventually. But not for some teams. No, some NFL teams and stadiums don't have a snowball's chance in hell to host the Super Bowl. And today, we're not only going to find out where these stadiums are, but why. And that's coming up right after this. It's fresh. Before we get into the stadiums, you should know the most common criteria that the NFL uses in selecting a Super Bowl site. Keep in mind they are selected now, not bid on anymore. Space for game day experience, appropriate infrastructure, minimum hotel capacity within an hour's drive, equal practice space for both teams, and a big Achilles heel for some stadiums on this list.
Yep, this one is a big one. Obviously, you want to sell enough tickets. You want to make as much revenue as you can, right?
A minimum of 70K fixed seats. And though it's not stated explicitly, weather is a huge factor. Let's quickly recap all the active NFL stadiums that have hosted a Super Bowl and will.
That's a gorgeous stadium, the Mercedes-Benz
set to host this year. Then followed by the Superdome, State Farm, Raymond James, US Bank, Mercedes-Benz, Levi Stadium, Hard Rock, and Jerry World. And though it hasn't been confirmed yet, Allegiant Stadium will totally host a Super Bowl. Next, there are stadiums that have hosted, but likely will never again. Ford Field, Lucas Field, MetLife, which was a miracle, NRG.
But hold on, this one looks pretty good. Why will this one not get another one? Like these, okay. These kind of look a bit dated. This one looks really small, but this one looks huge.
28-3. And TIAA Bank in Jacksonville, which was one of the biggest anomalies ever. They hosted Super Bowl 39. Out of all the stadiums that haven't hosted a Super Bowl, Bank of America stands the best chance. With a hub airport in the city, it does indeed have the infrastructure to handle the big game. And they meet the seating requirement. The only maybes are hotel space, practice facilities, and the weather. But being south of the Mason-Dixon line helps Charlotte avoid a major snowstorm. But it's not exactly Miami. Unlike their actual team this year, Carolina has a slim chance at seeing the Super Bowl in the future. The loudest stadium in the league has a shot at the bowl, but its age and the city's infrastructure work against it.
Is this all parking? This is parking, right? That's a huge amount of parking.
Another big problem could be practice space, as the Chiefs' facility is nearby, but finding another indoor space could be difficult. Additionally, the weather could hurt the game day experience, as all that stuff needs to be indoors or in nice weather. To me, a Super Bowl in Arrowhead would be cool, but maybe too risky for the NFL.
I see.
Though Nissan falls short of the 70K requirement, they are at 69,143.
Very close.
That's certainly close enough where they could squeeze in a few more butts into the arena. Nashville has the infrastructure and hotels, ample areas for the game day experience of getting hammered in their many bars. Practice space could be an issue, but maybe something temporary could be added. Weather is also a factor, and like Charlotte, it's unlikely to snow here, but it wouldn't be balmy and sunny. Still, could be a fun place for a Super Bowl, though unlikely when there are better options. Now for our absolute no's.
Lambeau
At first I
Field.
had Lambeau as a maybe, as in the future the NFL might go crazy and award a stadium with the game on some kind of nostalgia or anniversary kick, but quite simply, Green Bay doesn't have the infrastructure, the airport, or the hotels. The atrium helps for Radio Row, but that's the only indoor space to hide from the brutal February Wisconsin weather.
Woo, look at all that snow. Jeez, man. Huge, like literally mountains of snow.
Nobody wants to work in sub-zero temperatures when LA and Miami exist. Sorry, Lambeau, not happening. This one could have been a maybe, but as I thought it over, it's a no. The area around Gillette could handle the requirements. Hell, Robert Kraft might even build a new hotel like Indy did to please his buddy Roger. But the weather and 4K short on seats make Gillette a no, no matter how many strokes of luck Robert Kraft would need. Though it was a long time ago and the field has been completely replaced.
This stadium, this one seems a bit like, seems a bit dated. Yeah.
Completely replaced. Anytime you bring up this moment at Heinz Field,
Wow.
it causes the NFL to retract in horror. Close enough on the seating chart at
The
68K,
ball just got stuck
but
in the
again,
grass.
The weather works against Pittsburgh here. Plus, the stadium area is pretty small, as Heinz Field lacks the parking of other stadiums. No Pittsburghers will be sold on Super Bowl Sunday. There's just absolutely no way the NFL risks their biggest cash cow on a stadium that is located literally right on Lake Erie during the bitter cold of the winter, where freezing winds enter the stadium and knock people over like Tim Tebow trying to block somebody. Yes, if Indy could handle the Super Bowl, maybe Cleveland could too, but the fact that this isn't a dome makes it nearly impossible. Plus, it's Cleveland.
At least we're not Detroit!
Another big nope from the weather gods. It's one thing when snow is a possible factor in a cold weather
Look
city.
at those seats.
It's another if it's virtually guaranteed. Plus, casual fans would not be prepared to handle the amount of rocks being kicked up into their rental car windshields during Super Bowl week. Sorry, Perna. No Super Bowl for you.
You're pushing your luck, little man. No soup for you!
The NFL wants the most neutral site for a game that they can, and if the Seahawks somehow made it to Super Bowl Sunday, their stadium would be a huge advantage for them. But the biggest detractor would be rain. Rain simply is not something they would want that could both affect
Does it rain in Seattle quite often? Is it quite a rainy place to be?
the outcome of the game, but also the quality of the broadcast. It would also put a strain on the game day experience. Sorry, Seattle.
Yeah.
You've been washed out.
Eee.
Paul Brown falls well short of the capacity criteria, and the weather doesn't help. Plus, issues with choke points in the stadium, like only one access ramp to the upper deck, would make for a salty Super Bowl experience for the fans. Big fat striped no.
Yeah, that's not good at all. Like that actually caused one of the Hillsborough disaster in Liverpool here, where 96 people died. There was very few access points. A lot of people were shoved into a small part of the stadium because they were desperate to see the game, and then the part of the stadium just collapsed. It was horrible.
The biggest thing working against Lincoln Financial Field is that a lot of season ticket holders get to attend the Super Bowl, and I'm not sure if Goodell wants turd
my
eaters and
God.
battery chuckers at his moneymaker. Plus, nobody visits Philly for tourist reasons. It would end up being the lowest attended Super Bowl ever. All semi-serious joking aside, weather is probably the biggest excluder for the link. I'm sure if
M&T.
push came to shove, Baltimore could host the big game, as M&T can seat 71K and the surrounding area is nice. However, there just isn't a compelling reason as to why you would bring the Super Bowl to Baltimore. Everything is just average. There's no dome, and other than crab cakes, there's really not a draw. Now we're getting into the super hard nose. Even with recent renovations,
doesn't even
there's
look great.
absolutely no way the near 50-year-old Highmark Stadium could host a Super Bowl, nor could the small town of Buffalo handle all the requirements. Even if the evil Pagulas sham the city into paying for a new stadium, there's no way the hotel requirements get met here, not to mention the brutal weather. And where is the game day experience going to be? In the wild ass Buffalo parking lot? Though I suppose that would be pretty cool. Also, the Pagulas.
Who are the Pagulas and why are they, why does he hate them? Have they done something? Like he mentioned that they basically forced the city to buy them a stadium, which I guess is kind of, not great, using taxpayers' money.
This would also be another giant why, as even though it was essentially rebuilt in 2003,
looks good.
The new Soldier Field is aging out and replacement plans, possibly in Arlington Park, are already underway. This stadium was never designed with a Super Bowl in mind, and its downtown proximity would be a nightmare for an event as large as the Super Bowl. Plus, have we brought up the wind yet?
As this woman clinged onto the side
Oh
of the
my
building
goodness.
for dear life.
And for our final, extremely hard no, reflective of the organization that resides in this dump, the NFL would likely choose to cancel the Super Bowl or host it in London before it had one at FedEx. Yeah.
To be honest, if the Super Bowl if the NFL hosted the Super Bowl in London, it would probably be the highest selling one ever, honestly. You could charge whatever you want for tickets. People would fly in from all over Europe. It would be epic.
Yes, after 9/11, it was briefly considered that the stadium could get a Super Bowl, but after MetLife hosted one and got extremely lucky with decent weather, but a terrible game, all that talk got squelched. Parking here is a nightmare. Access to this place is a nightmare. Traffic is a nightmare. Maybe the game day experience is over at the Landover Mall? Maybe both teams practice in the parking lot? Sorry, the only Super Bowl the Washington football team will see anytime soon is highlights from 1993. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please do not forget to hit that.
Man, I love 5 Points vids, man. His sense of humor just cracks me up all the time. I love the sarcasm. It's right up my street. And to be honest, I think a lot of the stadiums that were in his maybe pile would have a good shout if they could maybe increase the amount of hotels nearby and maybe encourage businesses to, enhance the potential experience for people coming in, like tourists. Because surely you can't just keep rotating around the same stadiums for Super Bowls. You kind of have to keep it interesting, go to new places. So yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if those stadiums in the maybe pile, we see them host one in the near future. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.